President of the Senate. But let me say that this is a very important meeting. It is a very important interactive session, and I want to appreciate UK, NIF, Department of International Development, and the German, you said Power Africa, all of them that join hands together to make this possible. As has been remarked by the MD of the agency, one of the indices of measuring development or progress in a country is infrastructure. And at the top, at the hierarchy of that infrastructure, is power. With power, everything is possible. Power comes industrialization, power comes employment, and all of that. Unfortunately, our case has been like that of India. India has, over the years, gradually been trying to get out of that, and they have done a great deal. When this administration created the Rural Electrification Agency, it was a step in the right direction for us to be able to provide power or electricity to the people who hitherto had no hope at all of accessing power in the environment. And so if we have in a country of 200 million people, and about 80 million of those people have no access to power, I think it's a very sad commentary on our infrastructural development. And so this agency, since it was created, have done very well based on what I've seen before I even came into the Senate. And with the new management, it's a young man who has no any other thing but to make sure that he writes his name in gold as far as this agency is concerned. He has shown a lot of enthusiasm. He has shown commitment and diligence in the manner that he's carrying out this assignment. And so when he initiated and invited us for this very important program, I spoke with my colleague and I met with the Senate President, who ordinarily would have been here, but for the fact that the President is bringing the 2021 budget tomorrow, and we need to debate on the medium-term expenditure framework. That is a framework which will allow expenditure, both on the revenue side and the expenditure side. We need to determine that first and foremost, and that is what we are doing all of today. But for this very important thing, none of us would have been able to be here. And so the Senate President also sent an able representative, the Chief Whip of the Senate, to stand in for him. I would like to say that most Nigerians in the rural areas are dependent on this renewable energy. And I want to appeal to you as an agency in the implementation of what has been appropriated. You people must take that very serious. You must make sure that you implement it with all seriousness that it deserves, because our people in the rural areas, some of them now are enjoying some of this mini-grid and the solar lights that you've so far provided. In the National Assembly, most distinguished senators and honorable members of the House of Representatives are very interested in what is happening in the Rural Electrification Agency, because most of our constituency projects that are in the rural areas are put under your agency. And so we are interested and will continue to put you under a lot of pressure to make sure that you do that. Finally, I would like to say that in most of the fair states, some of these small African countries that you've seen, that you can term them as fair states, it is because most times the rural economy has collapsed irretrievably. Once a society like ours, once you have a situation where rural economy of those countries begin to collapse, it then means that we're heading towards a failed state. And what do we do? What we are trying to do in the rural areas, we create commerce in those areas, because once you have a mini grid in a village, which ordinarily wouldn't have had, people around those areas will begin to engage in commercial activities, whether it is barbing, whether it is salon by women, grinding machines and all of that. That creates some rural economy within those environments. And then you stop a lot of things, migration from rural areas to urban centers, which also creates its own social attendant problems that comes with it. And so your agency, Honorable Minister, is very important for the development of this country. And so we at the National Assembly will give all the support that you need to make sure that this, your assignment, is carried out seamlessly. And so as we do that, it is our expectation that you will also take your assignment very seriously. Once again, let me welcome my colleagues and those who have found time to be here for this interactive session. It is an interactive session where we want to understand the workings of your agency. Once again, Mr. Senate President, I want to thank you and God bless us all. Renewable energy has been deployed in India, been deployed in China, deployed in Brazil, and a host of other developing nations that have made progress in their industrialization. And so what the Rural Electrification Agency stands for is to be sure that these 80 million Nigerians that have no access to power have access to power through renewable energy, whether it is solar, whether it is biomass, solar through mini grids, where with mini grids they can operate with small cottage industries. And so I believe that with this initiative by the federal government, a substantial number, even if we're not able to achieve the 80 million Nigerians that are not on the network, we'll be able to achieve at least 60–70% of those population to be able to at least have some level of power that either the power, there are small appliances in the houses, or even create mini grids where some cottage industry could be set up in the rural areas, thereby enhancing the rural economy of those places.
So is there anything your committee or the National Assembly in particular is doing to assist REA towards achieving this?
Of course, this is why we are here for this retreat, and on our part, we have the power of appropriation, and they need a lot of money. And so since last year, we've been able to enhance the budgetary appropriation that comes to us, and we intend that this year is going to be even more, because we need the rural people to access power. And so at the part of National Assembly, we're willing and ready at all time to support what will enhance the welfare or the well-being of the people that we represent.
Thank you.